Hello and welcome back to my Blu-ray update for August of 2018. This is the second part, the concluding part, and in this part of two parts, I'm going to be showing you some pretty damn cool Blu-rays, the ones that I'm the most excited to add to my collection over the past month or so. And also I'm going to start off the video with two movie books that I picked up from the charity shop a couple of weeks ago. I was quite happy with. The first one might be a bit arbitrary to some, because I already own it, and it is the 1001 Movies You Must See Before You Die book. Only this is one of the earlier editions. This is the 2005 edition, so it covers movies up to 2004. The one that I've been working from in my 1001 Movies You Must See Before You Die series, the Epic Film Challenge 2, you know that one? I'm still going from the 2011 edition, or 2012 edition, that covers films up to 2011. So I thought I would pick this up to see the differences. It was like £2, you know, in pretty damn good condition. No real wear and tear at all. Mine is in complete tatters. And I found that it's pretty much identical. Like, even the layout on certain pages is exactly the same. There's not too much difference at all. Obviously, beyond there being you know, different movie choices in there, movies that have been taken out, movies that movies that have been taken out. I cannot avoid the noise while filming today. It's impossible. Hours I've waited, there's sirens, there's people running down the street on their bikes, proper revving it up for no apparent reason at all, because it's a very quiet street where you're not even going to get enough road to really make use of revving that engine up. You're just doing it to be a complete fucking prick. And then you've got people outside running these weird machines. I don't know what they're doing out there. It's some sort of thing. I feel like I'm in the burbs. I want to know what that machine is outside. I want to go and sneak out there tonight, see what's going on in the basement, and find out what the fuck is going on over there with the neighbor's house, or whoever it is over there down the alley. I don't know what's going on. Okay? Side tangent over. So yes, there are films that have been taken out of the edition of the book that I have that are in this one, but there's not too many, and there's a few things that obviously I think are probably mistakes that have been rightfully rendered out of the book, which is that they have the Lord of the Rings trilogy in here as 3 separate movies, which I think is a bit of a waste of 2 movies. So in the 2011 edition they have it as just the Lord of the Rings trilogy, which is a good move in my opinion. So it's interesting to see some different movies in here, but ultimately there's not too much difference, and I kind of just got it as a collector's piece. So, and I'm happy with that, I suppose. And it was only a couple of quid, so it is what it is. Then the second book that I'm really happy about, because it's a book I can actually read and actually get some use out of, and it's in a bit of rough condition, but again, it was only a couple of quid. It is The Story of Film by Mark Cousins, and you might be familiar with the title because he made it into a very long series of documentaries called The Story of Film, an Odyssey or something like that, which I saw a few episodes of on Netflix many years ago when it was on Netflix. And as much as I enjoyed it, Connie kind of like shattered the glass for me. She said, it sounds like everything that narrator says is like a question. And that's when it just completely fell into place with me, that Mark Cousins' narration just sounds like everything he says is a question. And it is so off-putting. So it's an incredibly well put together documentary, and for my taste, it gets a little meandering and kind of posturing, you know, but that's just kind of my taste as someone who likes to enjoy people talking about movies. But I'm intrigued to actually read this and kind of get his thoughts and his findings, his research on the history of film and so on and so forth, and actually reading it as opposed to going through. I'm sure this isn't a word for word, you know, verbatim of the TV series, but, you know, there's a lot in here. It's a very long book, and I'm quite pleased to see that there's obviously a section on a matter of life and death. Though it's not a book that goes into specific movies and dissects them, it more covers a broad range of eras and, you know, techniques and kind of the evolving nature of cinema and things like that. The Story of Film. Now we get to the Blu-rays. Yes, a Blu-ray update, which for the first 5 minutes I wasn't talking about Blu-rays. Where can I start? Where should I start? We have some Criterions, we have some Eureka, and a standard studio release. The Girl Who Leapt Through Time by, let me get his name right, Mamoru Hosoda. And I absolutely love this film. I put it on about a year or so ago, expecting a kind of light, kind of fun anime movie, which is exactly what I was looking for. And I found something that was kind of jaw-dropping towards the end. Like, just the way the story evolves and unfolds as this girl is kind of going back in time and kind of redoing parts of her day-to-day life and kind of trying to mold herself into a better person and things like that. And then the real drama that comes out of that, and the choices and the consequence, and you know, the romance elements. There's a lot of things in the film that just really tied everything together by the end, and I just thought that was an incredible film. Like, it started off, I'm like, yeah, I'm recognizing what this film is. It's fun, I'm enjoying it, but it's nothing special. And then boom, it hits you. And there's just something really, really cool about that feeling when you watch a film, and it just totally catches you off guard. When you think you know what the film is that you're watching, it turns out to be something completely different by the end of it in terms of its quality and how much it reaches you. So I'm glad to get this. The regular release I don't think has any special features. This has behind the scenes a feature with the staff commentary with the production and storyboard staff. It's a really weird way to phrase it on the back. And audio commentary with the director and voice actors. I'm not sure, though, if it's the US voice actors. That might be the case. Now, these have really, really nice releases where the slipcover comes out like that, and you get kind of a clean artwork on the inside of the Blu-ray. They also have booklets on the inside, which I'm not going to take out. These are really nice additions, but the slipcovers are like, you know how steelbooks can be, fingerprint magnets. These are little bits of white fluff and dust and hair magnets. Like, you'll just get lots of little things attracting to this slipcover, and it'll be so hard to get them off. You'll really try, you'll get one piece off, and then more will just join. So if you get bugged by things looking dusty, these things are really going to annoy you, I think. And I'm going to have to try and live with that. But I do have the other two that were released as part of the Hosoda collection. And I own Summer Wars already, but I just couldn't help myself because these came out for like £25, I think, when they were first released. And then they all went down to just under £15. So I kind of just jumped on them because I don't know how long they're going to be around for. So the second one is Summer Wars, which I've heard very good things about. And in fact, hearing Rachel Wagner talk about this in her video where she talks about her favorite films of all time, I think this was in like the 90s of her top 100. That really made me want to watch it even more. So it's cool to have this one and kind of add it into the Hosoda collection. And they go very nice together as well, I have to say. And then finally, the one I'm probably looking forward to watching out of the two that I haven't seen is Wolf Children. Really love the cover of this. There's something about it that just really draws me in. And these have a lot of special features and the booklet as well, which is really nice. And they're just really nicely presented on the back with all the information, the original title and Japanese characters, you know, the cast list and the original release date. You know, just really good job by Manga Entertainment, I believe, put this out. These out, I should say. So really, really cool Blu-rays. But again, if you do get bothered by slipcovers getting a little bit kind of dirty, I guess. I mean, you look at the size. I don't know if you'll be able to see it without the glare. That's going to be an issue. Just lots of little bits of just fluff and whatnot. They just get attracted to it. So you see here and there, and you'll just, it'll take you forever to get them off. So that kind of really bugs me, to be honest. But it is what it is. That's that out of the way. I now have 5 Criterions to show you. So the first Criterion I got is one that I was really looking forward to being released when it was first announced. It's a movie I've always wanted to pick up since I first saw it a few years ago, but it never had that kind of definitive Blu-ray release. It seemed like a lot of different companies were jumping on the print and kind of just releasing their own Blu-ray and just kind of rushing it out, not doing the film the justice it deserved. And I don't actually know, I haven't looked at any reviews of this, but I can only assume that it looks really good and it has been restored. It has a new digital 4K restoration supervised by the director George A. Romero. It is Night of the Living Dead. They're coming to get you, Barbara. I love this film. I really just was not expecting this film to be what it was when I first saw it. It's so different, you know. I was expecting a more traditional zombie movie when really this is kind of the godfather of zombie movies, and in many ways invented a lot of the tropes of the zombie genre. And it just has a really enjoyable feel. I love films that take place in kind of one location, you know, and you have these characters trapped in this house, this thing that's going on, they don't know what it is, and, you know, compared to modern zombie films, you know, do the effects in this or the way the zombies move, is it as scary as other zombies? Absolutely not. But it's this sense of dread, You know, I mean, even the acting in you know, some of the actors in this film isn't very good, but there's something raw about this film. There's something really tangible about it that really just draws me in. I've seen it a couple of times, and the ending in particular just kind of knocks my socks off. It's just such a bold finale, I think, and just a really important film as far as the history of horror films go. Just fantastic film, and this is a really, really nice addition. You know, you got a nice digipack. I think there's a poster inside here too. I just love the artwork on this. Really, really nice, as you would expect from Criterion. And again, it has a 4K restoration. I believe there is a never before presented work print edit of the film. I'm not sure how substantial that is, how different it is. I haven't really looked into any of that, to be honest with you. But it's one that I'm glad to have in the collection, because it now completes the Dead trilogy. You know, I have the Arrow Video releases of Dawn of the Dead and Day of the Dead, so it's great to have that kind of trilogy complete now. And this has a new program featuring filmmakers Frank Darabont, Guillermo del Toro, and Robert Rodriguez, no doubt gushing about the film and everything like that. All sorts of special features, and just so great to see this finally get the release that it deserved. Again, I'm kind of just assuming that it has a great release because it's Criterion, but you know, the Criterion Collection, they kind of carry a, you know, a certain reputation that's well earned. So I don't really need to see a review or I'm waiting for screens. No, I can just you know, be rest assured that it'll be a fantastic release. Though now that I'm looking at it, I have a very minor criticism, and it's the Night of the Living Dead. The Criterion logo is covering the N somewhat, so it's kind of a little bit discernible. I mean, we all know it says Night of the Living Dead, but I wish that was laid out just a little bit differently. And that's a completely minor, obviously, criticism, because it's just the cover art. We have a couple more Criterions I've already shown, be correct in English, in my Criterion overview video. So there'll be a little bit of overlap here, but this one is EE, I think. I mean, I want to say Yee, but I think it's EE. Regardless, this film by Edward Yang, who has a very good reputation as a filmmaker, including A Brighter Summer Day, which I also own in the Criterion Collection. And this has an audio commentary with writer-director Edward Yang and Asian cinema critic Tony Raines. How interesting. We all know and love Tony Raines, of course, but yeah, that's really interesting. They both do the commentary together or separately, perhaps. Perhaps it's a mix. Maybe that's probably the case. So this is a film I know absolutely jack shit about, and I can't wait to check it out. It's just one of those things, you know. It's in the book 1001 Movies You Must See Before You Die, and it is almost 3 hours long, and it is from what country was it released in? In Mandarin with English subtitles, so it's a Chinese film. I knew that, obviously, but I thought I'd seen something about Taiwan. Taiwanese master Edward Yang. There we go. So, really looking forward to this one. Really looking forward to all of these. This one I'm really, really excited about. It is the Philadelphia Story. Love James Stewart. Such a big fan of him. And I love Cary Grant and Katharine Hepburn together in Bringing Up Baby from 1938. This is from 1940, I believe. Yes. I'm assuming it's in the kind of screwball comedy genre. And, you know, just three incredible actors from an incredible period of film history. Can't wait to see this, and definitely excited for that one. And that's another one that's in the book. As is this one from another noted director, and that is Andrei Tarkovsky, Stalker. As I've said before, and many times, and I'll probably have to say it a few more times in the future, the only Tarkovsky film I have seen is Andrei Rublev, which I think just got announced for a Criterion release in the UK and then got pulled back, which is interesting. But regardless, I'm not in a rush to see that film anytime soon, and Stalker is one that people rave about. And it's supposed to be a very weird one, a very interesting and visually powered film. Like, there's a lot to do with the visuals in this one, from what I've heard anyway. And again, I like to go in as blind as I can with these things and kind of experience it in a kind of a fresh way where I'm not expecting something too specific. And finally, we have The Sword of Doom, which is a big selling point for me in this, is that it stars Tatsuya Nakadai and Toshiro Mifune, who are, to me, the two greatest screen samurais of all time. Well, maybe I would put, what's his name? How could I forget his name? One of my favorite actors of all time. In Seven Samurai and Ikiru, and Oh my god, and Godzilla, and all those other great Kurosawa films. Oh my god, Takashi Shimura, there we go. He's probably up there too for his performance in Seven Samurai. But Mifune, Nakadai, two of the best actors of all time, you know, let alone the best Japanese actors. Both in the same movie, both as samurai. Well, I'm assuming they're both samurai. Again, I haven't looked too much into it, but I know that it's a story of a wandering samurai who exists in a maelstrom of violence. Sounds like a good old samurai movie from the 60s to me. Looking forward to checking that one out. Now we have a brand new release that has a Japanese flavor to it. And it's one I wasn't expecting to pick up because, well, it's a Wes Anderson movie. Isle of Dogs. Now, I'm kind of disappointed in this because the special features are no kind of connection to the film intended. Dog shit. They're really good special features, don't get me wrong, but they're all like 2 to 3 minute featurettes that have all been released on YouTube before. I've seen them all before, there was nothing new, and while they were well made and interesting, there's no real weight to them. It's very brief, very fleeting, and I feel like the making of a film like this could be covered in so much more depth. But hey, it's a Wes Anderson film released by a studio. They're not going to put any effort into, you know, making it more extra material. So we're kind of stuck with this for the next however many years it takes for Criterion to get the rights to release this in the Criterion Collection, along with Grand Budapest Hotel. So I was really, just like Grand Budapest Hotel, I was thinking I was going to wait on this one until Criterion maybe picked it up. But I saw it in the shop, and it's a really nice nice package. So we have the slipcover here, including one of the film's posters of all the dogs, which I really like. The slipcover is a matte finish, and there's some glossy elements too on the title, which is really nice. And I'm going to do some sort of unboxing, maybe review of this actually, if I get the time to. And it also has a clear cover, which is really cool. Nice to see that on a studio release. And it also has some inside artwork, which I thought was a nice touch actually. Pray for Atari and Spots. That's pretty cool. Now there was a steelbook for this. Zavvi released a steelbook, and I was thinking about it, but it was £25 and, you know, a bit too much for me. Whereas the regular release was decently priced and had a nice slipcover. And there's also some art cards, which are over there somewhere. I'll show them in the unboxing video if I can get around to doing that and showing you this in a bit more depth. And Connie has just walked in, so I'm going to have to pause the video for a second. But love this film. Still my favorite film of 2018. Not the best film of 2018, actually, just so I can be clear on that, because there's been quite a few films this year that have been much better than this, but it is still my favorite. Seen it 3 times now. Love everything about it. I see more details in it every time I see it, so it's great to have it on Blu-ray to go back and see even more of those details, maybe even pause to see all the kind of the stuff that fills the frame in this incredible stop motion. I mean, just the visuals of this alone, incredible and so remarkable, the way that they've done this, how many sets they had to build, how many puppets, but also the articulation, the stop motion animation, which is so masterful. The music is great. And then you have this weird kind of storybook, fairy tale, story that is really kind of rousing and entertaining and emotional as well. So love this film so much. Can't wait to see it again and again and again until we get the Criterion version. And just wish there was some more substantial special features on the Blu-ray, that's all. Alright, we're in the home stretch now, and we have 3 more Blu-rays to look at. And I'm going to leave one till the very end, actually, because it's the one I'm probably the most intrigued / excited about. So the first one, we have a couple of Eureka titles here, and they're both martial arts themed. The first one is Donnie Yen in Iron Monkey. Do not know anything about this one. Donnie Yen is a very notable figure in the martial arts movie scene, and the only thing I've seen him in is Star Wars Rogue One. Or Rogue One, a Star Wars story, and I loved him in it. And I'm sure it doesn't really represent what he's about at all. It even says in the back here, Donnie Yen, Ip Man, and Rogue One. He's a physician and martial artist, and is mistaken for a masked vigilante known as the Iron Monkey, a Robin Hood-style hero who has been robbing the wealthy local officials in order to provide medical treatment for the poor. The 2 men must team up to defeat a corrupt political regime and protect the lives of the people whose cause they champion. Wow. teaming up to defeat a corrupt political regime. That sounds nothing like a martial arts film. Anyway, looking forward to checking this one out and seeing what Donnie Yen is all about. I'm a big martial arts movie fan who doesn't really watch them all that regularly, so this will probably push me to check it out. And yeah, so there's actually quite a few special features here. Interview with Donnie Yen, multiple featurettes and footage and trailers and things like that. So that's pretty cool. From 1993. So this actually goes back quite a bit. So I'm intrigued to check this one out and don't really have too much more to say about it other than that. So if you've seen it, please let me know. The next one, however, oh boy, this one arrived in the mail today and I'm so excited about this one. It is Jackie Chan in Police Story and Police Story 2. The double feature box set from Eureka. I wish this was in the Master Cinema Collection, to be honest with you, because I think that these films are that good, and for what this genre is, they're amongst the very, very best. I don't think I've seen Police Story 2. I might have when I was very young. I watched a lot of films like that with my dad and things, but the first one, oh, what a movie. Just incredible. To see someone with the level of commitment of, say, Buster Keaton, and if you want to go on more modern terms, Tom Cruise. I really do think there's a through line there of Buster Keaton, Jackie Chan, and Tom Cruise as far as these leading action stars who just put their body completely on the line for the sake of entertaining people, because people can tell when the real actor is doing the real stunts on screen, and it makes it so much more nail-biting and immersive. And Jackie Chan is perhaps maybe even the kind of the absolute legend of doing that. So we have Police Story here, and we have Police Story 2. Really, really nice double pack, and the special features they've laid it onto this box set are really quite special. For the first Police Story, we have like multiple audio tracks. I think there's restored Cantonese, there's the alternate English audio track featuring a rarely heard dub, sourced from a rare Dutch VHS release of Police Story that has never been officially released on any other version of the film. There is a completely a brand new kind of rip of an extended cut of Police Story originally released exclusively to Japanese home video, and that's in high definition, and I have to say I love the look of that one on this Blu-ray. The main like brand new 4K restoration of Police Story looks a little dark to me in some of the darker areas. I'm no expert on the way films look, but a little bit black in the dark areas of the frame. But the Japanese cut that is on this film, the extended cut, there's a lot of scratches on it, a very scratchy kind of print, but I love the feel of that. It has a kind of retro kind of VHS feel to it while still being high definition, but the look of it is a much more natural color scheme, I guess. I don't know, it just looks a lot more like a movie to me. I don't know. So that's cool. There's another one, what's it called? An alternate presentation originally edited for American home video called the Police Force Cut. So there's all sorts of stuff. Alternate deleted scenes, archival interview with Jackie Chan, trailers, there's a booklet for each film as well. They really just went all out and just made these releases stunning, I think. And they're really trying to focus on Jackie Chan, it seems, because they have City Hunter coming out soon. They also have the Project A movies coming out, which I'm really pumped for, because Project A Part 2 is one of the best action films I've ever seen. And really, really happy to have this film in my collection, and I will no doubt be doing a video on these movies, on this box set, for Asian Cinema Season 2, whenever I get around to doing that. It might not be until next year now. But suffice it to say, I'm incredibly happy with this. Eureka did an amazing job with it. Which brings us to the final Blu-ray, and this is a completely kind of spur-of-the-moment thing. It's from a director who I recently saw a film of for the first time. And I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And I thought, I want to see more from this guy. Looked him up, found he had 3 movies in the 1,001 Movies book, so I needed to see them anyway. All 3 of those were featured in a box set, collecting many of his films. And they're released from a label who don't seem to really be putting out that much. And in fact, one of the previous box sets has gone way out of print. So I thought I'd jump on this before it goes out of print or something like that. And I can kind of dive into this director a little more proactively, and it is the Jarmusch Collection. So the film I saw was Patterson, starring Adam Driver, from 2016. Whew, loved that film so much. There's a few minor things I didn't like, but apart from that, it was such a great film that really doesn't really do anything. You know, it's one of those films where nothing really happens, and that's the beauty of it. So I'm really intrigued to check out more of Jim Jarmusch's work. It could be a thing where, you know, Patterson is a complete departure for him. I really don't know. Never seen any of them before. So this features Permanent Vacation, Stranger Than Paradise, Down by Law, Mystery Train, Night on Earth, and Dead Man. So this is one of those ones where, again, I'm going to dive in as blind as possible. This is a really nice set. Like the texture on everything is really nice. It has a very small booklet, and then inside you have all the discs in trays, like so. I'm going to show you too much about it because it is what it is. But this is just one that I'm really, really excited. Is that Giancarlo Esposito there? Interesting. So I'm probably going to do some sort of video on these films. I have to review 3 of them for starters, but I'm really excited about this, and I love director's collections. I love just having a curated kind of gathering together of a lot of films from the same director and being able to watch through them all and kind of see what their career has been like and what their movies have been like. So anyone who has anything to say about Jim Jarmusch, please comment down below, whether it's the films in this box set or films outside of the box set or Patterson, whatever. I'd love to hear more about him. As vague as you can manage. Obviously, I don't want any story spoilers from any of the films, but I'm really excited about this one, and probably the one I'm most excited about in all the films I picked up over the past month or so. So there we go. That is the update. Hope you enjoyed. Sorry if it's been a bit of a cluster, but it is what it is. It's just one of those things, I guess. Yeah, I don't know, I just got annoyed by the noise outside, which of course is finished now. There's no noise whatsoever outside. And also it's just getting really hot again when I thought it had cooled down. Anyway, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.
It's alright by me. Apart from the fact he throws cans of Carlin into a tree. Yeah, he's really cool. Yeah, he's really cool. But he's not quite as cool as you, 'cause